Today we are reviewing The Shape of Water. The Shape of Water is a romantic fantasy film directed by Guillermo del Toro and written by Del Toro and Vanessa Taylor. It is set in 1962 Baltimore, Maryland. The film follows a mute custodian in a high-security government laboratory. The scientists in the laboratory bring a humanoid amphibian creature to do tests on. The custodian girl, Eliza, quickly falls in love with the amphibian creature and decides she needs to break him out of the laboratory. With help with her friends, she breaks him out and lets him free in the ocean. This film reminded me of an adaptation of a well-known film by Walt Disney, Beauty and the Beast. It reminds me of that film because they both have unlikely love stories happen, where the woman falls in love with the monster and teaches him how to love. Another aspect of the film I noticed was the fact that in any other film, you would see the sea creature as the villain in this story, but the government official, Mr. Strickland, is the villain in this story. The underlying theme in this film is giving a voice to the voiceless. While Eliza is the only one who is actually mute, other characters in the film are being held back from being who they truly are. One example is Eliza's neighbor, Giles. He is a closeted gay man, and he is not able to be who he truly is because of society's view on gay people in that time. And where this is shown is when he goes into the market, little diner place, and he starts flirting with the man who works there, and the man calls him a bunch of slurs and kicks him out of the restaurant. That's all I have to say for this film, but I'm going to take you to Jessica now so she can tell you what she thinks.
Thank you, Maddie, for that lovely introduction. To start this off, I have to say I really enjoyed this movie. I had never seen it before this class, and I absolutely adored it. It sends such a beautiful message to the viewers about an unlikely love story and how not all love is surface level. They're out of the ordinary, and for people to see that, it's not as expected. Eliza is a mute janitor for a lab science building, and the other is a beast that they're studying. He's not conventionally attractive or even human, which is rare to see in films. And Eliza, who is disabled, is also exceedingly rare to see in films. I like seeing this representation in movies and shows. It gives me excitement to see those kinds of things because of how unheard it is. Another thing that really caught my eye is how both Eliza and the monster do not have clear ways of communication. They have an underlying understanding of one another, and that especially is important to the show and how they're both societally seen as different forms of monster. Their love is a strong connection that a lot of people need to see because clearly there's way more than just physical attraction. It's also body language and emotion that goes into what they have. This movie reminds me of a fairy tale in the sense that they have an extraordinarily strong bond as well as storyline, yet there are only so many things that they have in common or understand about each other. Like Maddie said, it reminds me a lot of Disney's Beauty and the Beast because of who the characters are and how strong their love is under the surface.